Welcome back my YouTube channel Old Coin ZE Collection, where we uncover the mysteries of rare and valuable coins from history. If you love exploring the world of numismatics, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss out on any exciting coin revelations. Now today, I'm going to show you a coin that might be hiding in your collection or maybe even sitting in your change jar, the coin 1996 D1 cent coin. This might look like your average penny at first glance, but trust me, there's more to this little piece of history than meets the eye. So, why is a 1996 D penny worth potentially millions? I know, sounds too good to be true, but stick with me for the next 20 minutes as I break down the story of this coin, its history, and the fascinating details that could make it a goldmine. Let's start with the basics. The 1996 D1 cent coin was minted in Denver, hence the D mint mark. It's made of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper, just like the rest of the pennies minted after 1982. The penny weighs 2.5 grams and measures 19.05 millimeters in diameter. This particular coin was part of the regular circulation at the time, and while it's not rare in terms of total mintage, it does have some interesting characteristics that can make certain specimens very valuable. For most 1996 D pennies, you're looking at a value that's pretty close to face value. A typical circulated 1996 D penny in good condition might be worth around 1 cent, or just a little more if it's in excellent condition. But that's not the whole story. The value of a coin can increase dramatically based on its condition. For example, if it's in uncirculated or proof-like condition, you could see prices go up to 50 cents to a couple of dollars. But there's more. Now here's where things get really interesting. In recent years, certain 1996 D pennies have surfaced that aren't your typical run-of-the-mill coins. There have been reports of specimens that were misstruck or have unique characteristics that make them extremely rare. Some of these rare pennies have been sold for staggering amounts, even reaching as much as $6 million. Yes, you heard that right, $6 million. So what makes these coins worth that much? It's not just a matter of rarity, it's about the errors that these pennies have. We're talking about coins with rare minting defects like double dies, missing details, or even improperly stamped images. In fact, the 1996 D penny with the famous double die error is one of the most sought after by collectors. One of the major reasons these coins are worth so much is because of a minting error known as the double die variety. Let me explain. A double die error occurs when the coin's die, the metal stamp used to create the design, is misaligned during the minting process. This causes the design to appear twice, slightly offset. The most notable double die error on the 1996 D penny occurs with the word Liberty in the date. When you look closely at these pennies under magnification, you'll notice a subtle but unmistakable double image of the lettering, making it stand out as a rare and highly collectible coin. Because these errors are so hard to spot with the naked eye, many collectors search for them carefully, sometimes paying tens of thousands of dollars for a coin in near-perfect condition. If you've got a 1996 D penny in your collection, it's worth checking out the finer details. You might just have an overlooked gem in your collection. Take this example here. This coin was sold at an auction for nearly $6 million. It was a double die error that had been meticulously preserved, graded by experts, and verified for its authenticity. The auction house was able to sell it for that jaw-dropping price because of how rare and special this particular penny was. Before you start thinking that every 1996 D penny is worth millions, there's one critical aspect that we need to discuss. Grading. Coin grading is the process of assessing the condition of a coin based on its appearance. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. Grading involves a detailed process where experts look at things like wear, scratches, luster, and overall appeal. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect, flawless coin. Most valuable 1996 D pennies fall into the mint state or proof category, with grades of MS 65 or higher. If you think you might have a rare coin, it's a good idea to get it professionally authenticated and graded. That way, you'll know for sure if it's worth what you think it is. So, how can you spot a rare 1996 D penny? Well, the first step is to carefully examine the coin under magnification, especially around the key areas like the date, the Liberty inscription, and the "In God We Trust" motto. Look for any signs of doubling, misalignment, or unusual marks. If you find something that doesn't seem quite right, that's your cue to get it checked out by an expert. Who knows? You might just be sitting on a potential gold mine. So there you have it, folks. The 1996 D penny may seem ordinary, but if you've got the right error or condition, it could be worth more than you ever imagined. Whether you're collecting in history,
The 1982 US 1-cent coin. But don't let its modest look fool you, because today, we're going to reveal how this little coin could be worth a staggering $5 million. Yes, you heard that right. So, stay tuned as we break down its history, significance, and how you might just have a treasure in your hands. Let's kick things off with the basics. The 1982 penny, or 1-cent coin, is made of a copper-plated zinc composition, a change from earlier coins made of solid copper. In 1982, the U.S. Mint began transitioning from copper to a zinc-based composition because of rising copper prices, and that's where things start to get interesting. As you'll see, the 1982 penny is the bridge between two important eras in coin production. Now, let's travel back in time to 1982. The United States was going through some significant changes. The penny was going through a major transformation. Before 1982, pennies were made of 95% copper, but starting that year, the mint made the switch to a 97.5% zinc core coated with copper. This was done in response to inflation and the rising cost of copper, which was becoming too expensive for the mint to produce the coins at a reasonable cost. But here's the kicker. Not all 1982 pennies are created equal. Some were minted in copper and others in zinc. This is crucial because certain 1982 copper pennies have become extremely rare and highly sought after by collectors. There's a huge difference in value between the two, and this is where the potential for big bucks comes into play. In fact, some of these rare copper pennies have been sold at auction for nearly $5 million. But why is this the case? Let's dive in. Back in 1982, as the mint was making the transition from copper to zinc, there was some overlap, which means some copper pennies were still struck even after the official switch to zinc. Now, if you're lucky enough to have one of these early copper pennies, you could be sitting on a small fortune. These coins were supposed to be phased out and melted down. But, as with many great stories in numismatics, some of them slip through the cracks. To spot the difference, take a close look at your 1982 penny. You'll notice that the copper versions have a warmer, reddish-brown color, while the zinc version has a lighter, more yellowish hue. But here's the trick. Only a handful of the 1982 copper pennies were actually released into circulation, and only a few remain in great condition. So, if you have one of these copper varieties in excellent condition, it could fetch a jaw-dropping price at auction. Now let's talk money. Why would a 1982 copper penny be worth up to $5 million? Well, it's all about rarity and demand. Since only a small number of these pennies escaped being melted down, they are incredibly rare today. The value of these coins depends on their condition. The higher the grade, the more money you could make. But this is where the mystery deepens, because a coin with a high-grade copper composition could be worth up to $5 million, depending on who's buying and the rarity of the coin in that perfect condition. That let's quickly touch on coin grading. This is one of the most important factors in determining the value of your coin. Coins are graded based on their condition, from good to mint state. The highest grade, proof or mint state 70, is a coin that has been preserved in almost perfect condition. If your 1982 copper penny is graded high enough, it can fetch a pretty penny at auction. Take a look at some of the recent auction results. The highest-selling 1982 copper penny was sold for over $5 million. And this wasn't just any penny. This coin was certified as Mint State 67, which is extremely rare for a coin that has circulated for decades. So, what are the chances you could have one of these pennies? It's possible, but extremely rare. To give us a better understanding of what makes these coins so valuable, I spoke with an expert numismatist. Let's hear what they have to say about this remarkable discovery. Insert interview snippet here, or continue with detailed breakdown by host.so. How can you tell if you have one of these rare 1982 copper pennies? First, carefully inspect the color. A reddish-brown tint is the key indicator. You can also check the weight. The copper version weighs around 3.11 grams, while the zinc version is lighter at 2.5 grams. If you have a scale and a keen eye, you might just discover that your penny is worth much more than a cent now that you've found your potential treasure. It's time to protect it. Proper coin storage is essential. Use acid-free holders and make sure your coins are kept in a cool, dry place. Handling your coins carefully and keeping them in great condition will preserve their value. Let's recap everything we've learned today. The 1982 1-cent coin may look like any other penny, but depending on its composition, it could be worth thousands or even millions of dollars collector in history. Coin 1981 United States Lincoln cent, this seemingly ordinary penny minted in Denver, Colorado, holds a special place in the hearts of collectors due to its potential for significant value, depending on its condition and any existing errors. The base value of a 1981 Lincoln cent in pristine condition is surprisingly low. However, this face value of a mere 1 cent belies the potential for a much larger return as standard. Uncirculated 1960 cent in perfect condition, without any errors, might be worth up to $1,250. This value stems from the coin's inherent rarity and the demand from collectors seeking high-grade examples. The condition is the utmost important factor. Coins graded MS-67 or even MS-68 mint state, representing near perfect preservation, command the highest prices, while circulated coins showing wear and tear will be significantly less valuable. The grading process, typically performed by third-party grading services like the Professional Coin Grading Service PCGS, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation NGC, assesses the coin's condition based on factors such as luster, surface preservation, strike, and the absence of marks or blemishes. But what truly elevates the 1981 Lincoln cent to a realm of greater excitement are the possibilities of error coins, those struck with imperfections during the mining process, are highly prized by collectors. These errors can take many forms, ranging from minor flaws to dramatic abnormalities. The values of error coins are significantly higher than their standard counterparts, often escalating into the thousands of dollars. One particularly desirable error coin, and one that adds to the allure of this particular year in mint mark, is a 1981 1-cent error coin, which could be worth up to $5,500. This error could manifest in several ways: off-center strikes, where the coin's design is not perfectly aligned within the plane. The blank metal disc are relatively common errors. However, the extent of the off-centering determines the value. The greater the degree of off-centering, the rarer and more valuable the coin. Another common error is a double die phenomenon, where the design is imprinted twice, creating a blurred or doubled appearance to certain elements. This can happen on the obverse, the front featuring Lincoln, or the reverse, the back. The degree and visibility of the doubling determine the coin's value. Other errors to look for might include plane flaws, defects in the blank metal disc before striking, improper metal composition, or die cracks. It is crucial to have such errors authenticated by a reputable grading service to ensure their legitimacy and determine their specific characteristics. Now let us consider the truly remarkable case, a 1981 US 1-cent coin in circulation, the condition and rarity of which could push the value up to a staggering $31,000. It is exceedingly rare for coins found in circulation to reach this kind of value, and the scenario necessitates specific criteria. The most likely circumstance for a coin of this type to be worth this much is the presence of a major and quite significant error. Perhaps it's a major double die error or a significant off-center strike combined with another unusual feature. The coin would need to be graded and authenticated as having significant demonstrable errors that make it incredibly rare. The grading, as mentioned before, is an essential factor in determining the coin's value. Then there is the misprint error, and more precisely called the misstrike error. The presence of a misprint coin or misstrike coin can potentially amplify its value. A 1981 1-cent misprint or misstrike coin might be worth as much as $9,500. These misstrikes can occur when something goes wrong during the striking process. This could involve multiple strikes where the coin receives more than one impression from the dies, or errors related to the planet's composition or defects. These types of error coins are frequently sought after because they represent a deviation from the standard mending process and highlight the imperfections of the coin-making system. As with all error coins, the specific type and severity of the error determine the coin's value. The more dramatic and unusual the error, the more valuable the coin. A misstrike coin could involve an incomplete design or a partial impression. I hope you understand the 1981 USA Lincoln penny.
The 1981 penny appears unremarkable. Minted over 12 billion times, it's a common sight in our pockets. But did you know that certain 1981 pennies have sold for over $4 million? Let's delve into how a simple coin can hold such immense value. Minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, the 1981 penny features the iconic Lincoln Memorial on its reverse. Composed of 95% copper and 5% zinc, each penny weighs 3.11 grams and has a diameter of 19 mm. Coin value isn't just about rarity, it's also about condition. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being perfect. A higher grade means a higher value. For instance, a 1981 penny in MS-68 grade can fetch thousands of dollars. Not all 1981 pennies are created equal. There are rare varieties that collectors covet. 1981 no mint mark, Philadelphia, with over 7.4 billion minted. Most are common. However, those in MS-68 grade are exceptionally rare and can be worth up to $5,000. 1981. D. Denver, over 5.3 billion minted. But MS-67 plus graded coins have sold for over $5,000. 1981. S-proof type 1. Filled S, only 4 million minted, and in PR-70 grade, they can command prices over $2,500. 1981. S-proof type 2 clear S, also rare, with PR-70 examples fetching up to $7,500. In 2021, a 1981 penny struck on a 1981 P. Kennedy half-dollar planchet sold for a staggering $13,200 at Heritage Auctions. This wrong planchet error is one of the most valuable 1981 pennies ever discovered. To identify valuable 1981 pennies, examine the mint mark. Look for D for Denver or S for San Francisco. Check the grade. Higher grades like MS-68 or PR-70 are more valuable. Look for errors, wrong planchet, and off-center. Errors can significantly increase value. Proper storage is crucial. Use acid-free holders and keep your coins in a cool, dry place to maintain their condition and value. Coin collecting isn't just about money, it's about history, discovery, and the thrill of the hunt. Each coin tells a story. This coin, 1986 1-cent Liberty coin. This penny might look simple, but it has a fascinating story, historical significance, and an intriguing value that attracts collectors from around the world. If you're interested in learning how a small coin can hold such a big worth in both money and history, then stay tuned. Section 1. Historical context and background. Let's start by looking at the history of the 1-cent Liberty coin, also known as the Lincoln penny. The penny has been a staple of American currency for over a century. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday, marking the first time a U.S. president appeared on a circulating coin. Designed by Victor David Breener, the Lincoln cent not only honored one of America's most cherished presidents, but also signaled the shift in how the U.S. approached its currency. In 1959, to commemorate Lincoln's 150th birthday, the design on the reverse of the penny was changed from 2 week stocks, known as the week penny, to the Lincoln Memorial. This new design was created by Frank Gasparro and featured the Lincoln Memorial in a highly detailed way, even showing a tiny statue of Lincoln inside the memorial, making it a masterpiece of miniature engraving. The 1986 penny belongs to this iconic Lincoln Memorial series, although the Lincoln Memorial reverse design continued until 2008. Each year of this series carries subtle differences due to the quality of the strike minting process and other factors, which can make certain years particularly valuable. The 1986 penny was minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Section 2. Physical features of the 1986 1-cent Liberty coin. The 1986 penny is
Composed primarily of copper and zinc with a composition of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper plating due to a change in metal. Composition in 1982 pennies produced after this year have a distinct SNC core, whereas earlier pennies were made of nearly pure copper. This change helped the U.S. Mint save on production costs, but it also affected the weight and look of the coins. Here are some key physical features to note: diameter ** 19.05 millimeters, weight * 2.5 g due to the zinc core ed. ***, plain, no ridges up. Var ***, the obverse side features a portrait of Abraham Lincoln with the words "In God Trust" above his head, liberty to his left, and the year 1986 to his right. Reverse ***, the reverse side displays the Lincoln Memorial with the phrase United States of America and Ibis Unum, meaning out of many, one at the top, with 1 cent prominently at the bottom section. 3 1986 mint locations and their impact on value. The 1986 Lincoln penny was minted in 3 main locations. 1 Philadelphia, no mint mark, known for producing large quantities. These pennies are the most common. 2 Denver, D mint mark, also widely available, but sometimes valued slightly higher due to minor variations in strike quality. 3 San Francisco S mint mark. The San Francisco Mint produced the 1986 penny exclusively as proof coins, meaning these were intended for collectors and not for general circulation. Proof coins are known for their mirror-like finish and sharper details, making them more desirable among collectors. Section 4 Value and factors affecting worth. The value of a 1986 Lincoln penny can vary widely depending on its condition, mint mark, and whether it's a standard issue or a proof coin. Let's break down these values for 1986 pennies that have been in search calculation. The value is usually close to face value, 1 cent. However, for coins in extremely high grades, those with minimal, where the value can increase: Philadelphia no mint mark and Denver D mint mark ***. For higher grades, MS 65 or above, they may fetch 30 cents to $1, depending on the collector's interest. San Francisco S mint mark proof coin. These are valued higher in PR 65 or better condition, typically ranging from $2 to $10 or more, depending on demand and condition. Coins that are graded Ms. Mint State 65 and above are highly sought after by collectors. For the 1986 Lincoln penny, the value increases as the grade improves. MS 65 condition ***, around 30 to 1050. MS 67 condition ***, $10 to $20, and in some cases it may reach up to $50 if the coin has exceptional eye appeal and no blemishes. Proof coins from San Francisco are worth more due to their polished mirror-like finish. A 1986 S proof penny in high grade condition PR 69 or PR 70 can be worth $5 to $15, making it a great addition to any collection. Coins with mint errors can also command a premium. Some of the popular errors for the 1986 penny include off-center strikes, double dies, and clipped planets. These errors can raise the value significantly, sometimes fetching between $10 and $50 depending on the errors. Rarity invisibility. Section 5 Why collectors value the 1986 1 cent Liberty coin. The 1986 penny is particularly interesting for collectors who focus on the Lincoln Memorial series. Although it's not as rare or valuable as certain other years, it carries historical weight as part of the Lincoln century-long legacy. The penny is also popular among people who appreciate the craftsmanship of the Lincoln Memorial design, as well as those who collect proof sets. That in recent years, the Lincoln Memorial cents have seen a growing interest due to the discontinuation of the design in 2008, making these pennies nostalgic and historically significant. Collectors often aim to complete full sets of each year in mint mark, which adds value to 1986 pennies in excellent condition. Section 6 Investment potential and final thoughts. While the 1986 penny might not make you a millionaire, it's a valuable piece of American history. As time goes on, coins in pristine condition will become scarcer, which could increase their value to collectors. If you have a 1986 Lincoln penny, especially one from San Francisco, in proof condition, or one in high mint state, it's worth preserving carefully for serious collectors. Completing a series that includes pennies from each year
and mint mark is a rewarding pursuit, and the 1986 penny is a staple in any Lincoln Memorial cent collection. If you're interested in investing, look for high-grade uncirculated coins or proof version. While individual pennies may not skyrocket in value, they remain a stable and beloved choice among collectors. So there you have it. The 1986 1C Liberty coin may be small, but it has a rich history. This coin, 2018 1-cent coin, a seemingly ordinary penny that's worth a staggering $65,345. Yes, you heard that right. Stick around, because in this video, we'll uncover the mystery behind this extraordinary coin and what makes it so special. Now, let's take a moment to appreciate the 2018 1-cent coin, also known as the penny. It's one of the most common coins in circulation today. But did you know that this small copper-plated zinc coin has sparked a lot of interest among collectors and numismatists in recent years? On the obverse of the 2018 penny, we have the iconic image of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, along with the inscription, "In God We Trust." The reverse features a shield with 13 vertical stripes, symbolizing the original 13 colonies, along with the phrase, "E pluribus unum," meaning out of many, one. The date 2018 is stamped on the coin, marking its production year. Now, here's where things get interesting. While the 2018 penny may seem like just another standard issue, there are rare variations and misprints that can dramatically increase its value. Let's talk about why some of these pennies are worth thousands of dollars, like the one we're focusing on today. Collectors are constantly on the lookout for rare errors or varieties, such as double dies, off-center strikes, or unusual mint marks. But the coin we're discussing today is special because of a very specific and extremely rare minting error. Let's get to the heart of the matter. The 2018 penny that sold for an eye-watering $65,345. You may be wondering, what makes this penny so valuable? Well, it all comes down to a very rare minting error known as a struck-through error. This error happens when a foreign object, such as a piece of debris, gets caught in the coining press. The result? A coin that's stamped with an incomplete design, often leaving behind a noticeable flaw or blank spot. In the case of this 2018 penny, the error was so distinct that it caught the attention of collectors worldwide. Imagine holding a penny that was mistakenly struck with a foreign object, leaving part of Lincoln's face partially unstruck. It's a true numismatic treasure. This specific 2018 1-cent coin with the struck-through error sold for $65,345 at an auction. That's because coins with such clear and rare mistakes are highly sought after by collectors who love owning a piece of history. But why such a high price tag? Let's break it down. The auction that sold this penny for $65,345 was a prime example of the growing demand for rare and misprinted coins. As more and more collectors become aware of these valuable errors, they're willing to pay top dollar to add them to their collections. The market for rare coins has been expanding, with auction houses reporting increased interest in minting errors, misprints, and limited edition pieces. A single misprinted penny can generate more excitement than an entire roll of perfectly minted coins. That's the power of rarity and demand. So, how do you spot a rare 2018 penny, or any rare penny for that matter? Well, it all comes down to careful observation and knowing what to look for. First, always inspect the coin for any visible flaws. Pay attention to the edge, the mint mark, and the overall design. One key thing to look out for is any doubling of the design. That's called a double die error, and it can sometimes make a coin worth thousands of dollars. Another tip is to check for off-center strikes, coins that aren't properly aligned during the minting process. While many 2018 pennies are worth just 1 cent, it's this error coin that makes the 2018 penny a memorable year for collectors. This unique coin proves that even the most common coins can sometimes hold hidden treasures. It's a reminder that when it comes to coin collecting, there's always more to discover. A simple penny can become an incredible find, turning a low-value coin into a highly prized collector's item. Well, That wraps up our deep dive into the incredible 2018 1-cent coin worth $65,345. Who would have thought a humble penny could have such a fascinating story?
Invaluable coins in the 1986 USA 1-cent coin that shocked the world with its unbelievable value. Watch this video carefully. Who knows? You might be holding one in your hands right now, and full details: country USA period United States of America 1981. 2024 currency United States dollar coin type circulation coins denomination 1 cent year 1986 subject Lincoln cent composition copper plated zinc edge type smooth shape round alignment coin 180 degrees weight G 2.5 diameter mm 19.05 thickness mm 1.55. Stay tuned till the end as I'll reveal key signs to identify this rare coin and how you can check its value. Let's begin. The 1-cent coin, commonly known as the Lincoln penny, has been in circulation for over a century. Issued by the United States Mint, this humble coin usually holds no more than face value. However, rare errors, misprints, or historical factors can transform it into a treasure worth millions. This penny, minted in 1986, carries extraordinary characteristics that make it a 1 in a billion find. But why is it so valuable? Let's explore. Back in 1986, the United States Mint produced billions of pennies. But among them, a few rare errors occurred during production. These unique errors were unnoticed and released into circulation. Years later, sharp-eyed collectors discovered them, and the coin market went wild. This 1986 1-cent coin features a double die error, where the design appears duplicated slightly due to a misalignment during minting. This rare error is extremely sought after by collectors. Coins in pristine, uncirculated condition increase in value dramatically. A 1986 coin graded at MS67 or higher could be worth millions. Out of billions, only a handful of such error coins exist, making it incredibly rare that, as the saying goes, rarity and condition determine the value of any coin. This penny is both in recent years. A rare 1986 1-cent coin with a perfect error and grade went up for auction. Collectors from around the world bid furiously, driving its final price to a staggering $8.5 million. Records from major auction houses like Heritage Auctions and professional coin graders confirm this incredible sale. The buyer, a private collector, recognized the coin's unmatched rarity. Imagine holding such a coin in your hand, one that could change your life forever. Could it be sitting in your jar of spare change? Now let's get to the most important part. How you can identify this valuable coin. Look closely at the coin's date. It must be 1986. Examine the coin carefully under good lighting or a magnifying glass. Look for a slight duplication or shadowing effect on the date, lettering, or Lincoln's profile. The coin's condition matters. Coins with scratches or damage lose value. Coins graded MS65 or higher are the most valuable. If you think you have a rare coin, send it to trusted coin grading services like PCGS or NGC. Professional grading confirms its authenticity and condition. Take out your old coin collection and start searching. You might strike gold. So, have you checked your pockets or your piggy banks yet? Let me know in the comments if you have a 1986 penny. You never know, it could be worth millions. I want you all to like this video. And valuable coins in the 1975 1-cent coin is often called the penny. It features the right-facing bust of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse. The top part of the coin reads, "In God We Trust," and on the right side is the 1975 inscription, and on the left side is the word liberty. If present, you'll find the mint mark below the year. On the reverse, you'll find the image of the Lincoln Memorial front view. You then see the various inscriptions that include the following: United States of America, top, 1 cent, bottom, E pluribus unum. On top of the Lincoln Memorial, The first U.S. penny was first produced in 1787. It has gone through different design changes. Some of the designs it featured in the past include the flowing hair chain, Liberty cap, draped bust, and flying eagle. The Lincoln design was used in 1909, which coincided with the president's 100th birthday. This has replaced the Indian head cent. However, the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse was later adopted in 1959 to replace the wheat stalks image. Did you know that the penny is the most produced coin in the United States? Not only that, but the Lincoln penny was the first time that the U.S. used a portrait as part of a design. Prior to 1909, it was always the mythical Liberty that was featured on the coin. This led to other coins being changed to bear portraits of other people. The 1975 Lincoln penny comes in various designs. However, the main differential character would be their mint mark. There are also some pennies that have errors, giving rise to other varieties that give you an idea. Here are some of the most well-known 1975 pennies. Type: Lincoln penny year, 1975 mint mark. None quantity produced, 5,451,476,142 face value. 1 cent price, 1 cent to $9. Or more. The Lincoln penny with no mark was struck in Philadelphia. There were over 5 billion of these pennies that were struck. With a face value of 1 cent, you might be able to sell one of these for as much as $9, depending on your coin status. Type: Lincoln penny year, 1975 mint mark. D quantity produced, 4,505, 275,300 face value. 1 cent price, 1 cent to $30. Or more. The 1975 D penny is seen to be more valuable than the other standard varieties. Collectors would value those coins with mint state certifications. The mint mark is D, which indicates it was made in Denver. More than 4.5 billion of these coins were struck. Year: 1975 mint mark. S quantity produced, 2,845,000 face value. 1 cent price, 1 cent to $5 or more. 1975 S penny is usually sold for its face value, which is 1 cent. However, certified mint state S pennies can be sold for $5.00. The S mint mark represents San Francisco, and almost 3 million of the S variety were struck. There were a few known errors that happened during the minting of the Lincoln penny. With billions of pennies produced, it is expected that some were not minted properly. Thank you for watching today's video, and interesting. Be sure to subscribe to our channel for more content like this. Old Coin Z Collection.